So I picked out a few different images of lightning, and I think I used this image and this image here. So let's go ahead and add those. You can add the same ones if you already downloaded these same images, or you can use other ones that you downloaded. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this image to our document. All right, I want to resize it, but I'm really not sure what size I need right now because I can't see the rest of the image. So I'm going to go ahead and click enter or return, and I'm going to drop the opacity down, and that's going to give me the view of the images below it so I know what size to resize it to. So with Command or Control and the letter T, I'm going to get the free transform tool again, and then I'm just going to go ahead and resize it to the size that I need, because I don't necessarily want this lightning bolt to come into the field. I want to create it so it looks like it's going behind the horizon of our scene. So I'm going to place it right about there, and that should be a good starting point. Let's go ahead and add the opacity back to 100%. Right click and rasterize the layer, because remember, when we drag and drop, we create that smart object layer, and we need to rasterize it before we can do anything with it. All right, now we need to start blending in the lightning bolt to our clouds, and we need to remove the other parts of the image as well, because we don't want the rest of the scene interacting with the rest of the scene that we've already created. So we're going to use our blending modes, and we're going to use screen to get the process started. I'm also going to drop the opacity down so it blends in just a little bit more. We're going to add a layer mask. Grab your brush. Make sure the hardness is set to between 0 and 50%. Then go ahead and make sure you have black set for the foreground, and go ahead and paint around the lightning bolt, and that's going to remove the rest of the scene from our image. So the closer I get to the lightning bolts, the harder the edge I want. Otherwise, I'm going to start removing some of the lightning bolt, and I don't want to do that. Actually, I think I'm going to go softer on the brush. I'm going to go around plus 12%. And I'm just going to go right up along the edges of the lightning bolts to remove as much of the previous scene as possible. The other thing we can do is drop the opacity down of the brush, and that's going to help blend it in just a little bit more. I'm just going to click and drag until I remove as much of that extra blue scene as possible. All right, that's looking pretty good. So we have our first lightning bolt done. Let's go ahead and grab another image. I think I'm going to grab this one, and I'm just going to use some of these lightning bolts over here to add to the corners and the edges of the frame. So let's drop the opacity, right click, rasterize the layer. I'm going to zoom out, Command or Control and the letter T, and then I'm just going to move this into place. All right, right there should be pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and select the screen mode again, add a layer mask, and then just basically do the same thing we did before with the first lightning bolt. All right, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this layer. Command or Control and the letter T. I'm going to flip horizontal. And I'm going to move it over here to this side and maybe up just a little bit. So just a few lightning bolts right here, and just need to clean it up a little bit down here. I actually want to move this lightning bolt over to the right. So I'm going to select it and just move it over here to the right. So I'm just aligning where this main part of the light is right here. So either this could be the moonlight, the sunlight, or maybe it's a flash from the thunder and the lightning bolt could be coming out from this area right here. So that's why I'm readjusting it to fit into this area here. I just need to go ahead and clean it up now. And I'm going to bring the opacity back up because it looks too dark now. So I'm going to go to 80%. All right, I'm liking this so far. I'm going to go ahead and take these three layers and group them with Command or Control and the letter G. I'm going to rename it. All right, so that's it. We now have our lightning added to our image. The next step is to create our shadow monster, and we're going to do that in the next lesson.